Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Al-Fatihah Nabi Muhammad bin Zainal Abidin. حضرة النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين من الضالين رب اغفر لي ولوالدي والمؤمنين آمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نويت التعلم والتعليم والتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وبعد. So we continue with our daras on kitab Risalatul Jami'ah by Habib Ahmad bin Zil al-Habshi. So we are at the chapter of Hifzul Qalbi min al-Ma'asi. That is the keeping the heart from vices. So we have went through the first part. So to continue, we read the matan. فمن معاصي القلب الشك في الله تعالى والأمن من مكر الله والقنوط من رحمة الله تعالى والتكبر على عباد الله تعالى والرياء والعجب بطاعة الله تعالى والحسد والحقد على عبيد الله. ومعنى الحسد كراهة النعمة على المسلم واستثقالها. So the translation is, some of the vices of the hearts are doubt that is shak about the existence of God, the exalted, considering oneself out of the realm of God's plan or beyond His mercy, considering oneself superior to the other slaves of God, that is takabbur, showing off, riya, self-glorification in one's obedience to God, which is ujub. And next one is spite towards others, higid or bughd, and envy, hasad. This meaning of hasad is dislike and annoyance at the gifts of God has given to another Muslim and wishing they would lose them. So there are, Abu Ahmed have mentioned a few of the vices of the hearts, and we're going to go through one by one, inshallah, a bit of each. Okay, the first one is shak or doubt about the existence of God, the exalted. So we cannot have any doubt. As a Muslim, we cannot have any doubt that Allah exists. And we have to have 100% certainty, yakin, that is yakin that Allah exists and there is no other God that deserves to be worshipped. They can say, like some of the scholars say that you can say, like when they say God of this, God of that, but there is only actually one God that deserves to be worshipped, and there is no other God than Him. So Surah Al-Ikhlas gives us the summary of how our belief in Allah should be. Like, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahus samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So that is like the summary of like how Allah describes Himself. Qul huwallahu ahad. Say that Allah is one. Huwallahu ahad, Allahus samad. As-samad means Allahus samad. Allah is as-samad. As-samad, that means He don't need any. Allah don't need any other being. Don't need anything else. He don't need any other thing. And every other thing needs Him. That is the meaning of as-samad. Allahus samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. And He is not born, or He doesn't give birth to any being. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And He is not the same as He's not kufu. He's not the same or in any standard or status, the same status, or he doesn't resemble any other being or anything. So that is a summary, like our tawhid and our certainty that Allah exists should be like that. And Imam Ali said that were the cover to be removed, I would not increase in certainty. That is like if Allah grant him any revealing of the hijab or the kashaf or whatever knowledge, further knowledge that he has at that point of time, his certainty in Allah would not increase or decrease. It's the same. It's going to be the same. That means his certainty is already 100% and very strong. So all these things are actually mentioned in Imam Al-Ghazali Al-Mungib min al-Dalal, deliverance from error, and also Imam Abdullah Al-Haddad book. One of it is a book of assistance, and Da'watul Tamah, and many other books. They are like very good references. And also Imam Maulud, he also mentioned many things about these matters of the heart. And there are many other books from the ulama, from the scholars of the past, great scholars, where they explain all this disease of the heart. So the opposite of doubt is certainty. So we have, as a Muslim, we have to be certain, and of course our certainty will vary from one person to another. Some the yakin, the certainty is high, and some are low. So certainty, as defined by Imam Al-Haddad, Abdullah Al-Haddad said, power, firmness and stability of faith, so great that it becomes as a towering mountain, which no doubts can shake and no illusion can rock. This is the ultimate certainty that we are going for. So Imam Haddad have mentioned in the book of Assistance three ways to build certainty. The first is reflect on verses of God where Allah describes himself, and on hadith where the Prophet ﷺ describes Allah. So one of it is in the Quran. There are many verses in the Quran that we can reflect upon, where Allah mentioned about himself, describe about himself, his glories, his grandness, and his power and limitless power, and to show that we are actually just slaves and he is the real master. So one of it is surah from the Quran. Believers respond to God and his messenger when he calls you to that which gives you life. Know that God comes between a man and his heart, and that you will be gathered to him. So this is like one kind of verse that you can reflect on. And there are many other verses, like I said. And there are many hadith where Rasulullah SAW describe Allah. So we actually, Imam Haddad recommended and advised to reflect on these verses of Quran and also hadith where these things are mentioned, so we can be to increase firmness in our certainty of Allah. And the second method is reflect on the creations of Allah. So one of the verses of Allah in the Quran, we shall show them our signs in every region of the earth and in themselves, until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. So this is one of the verses in the Quran where Allah asks us to reflect on this. Says that he shows signs of what is that? The truth in every region of the earth and in themselves. That means in the human being and other creations. Then the third one is perform actions related to belief, passionately inward and outwardly, as much as we are able to do. So after we have reflected on the verses of Quran where Allah describes Himself, and on the Hadith where Prophet SAW describes Allah, then we reflect on the creations of Allah, the unique creations, and like the power that Allah has to create all such beings, and then we perform actions related to the belief. Allah asks us to pray, we pray. Allah asks us to do zakat, we do zakat. We pay zakat. And go for Hajj when you are able to. So all this, do it uh, with certainty and passionately, inwardly and outwardly. So as much as we can do. Of course, our certainty will slowly increase. So then, in the Quran, we say, Allah says in the Quran, but we shall be sure to guide ways, to our ways those who strive hard for our cause. That means when we strive in our worship, Allah will guide us. The more we strive, the more passionate we are in doing our worship inwardly and outwardly, and the more Allah will guide. And the level of khushu and the level of our khushu and actions will depend on our certainty. The more certain we are in Allah and His words in the Quran, of course we have to be certain, but of course, like human beings, the certainty goes up and down. So we have to strive to have that 100% certainty, and we have to strive to do everything for Allah. Like anything we do, we have to do it for Allah. In anything, even if anything we do or anything we live is for Allah, not for any rewards, or not for any um, like to what um, to get name to get a name, or to so that people don't say bad things about us. So all these are the lower types of certainty. So the higher type of certainty is do everything for Allah, and this has to be trained. So the Imam Haddad also explained that there are 3 degrees of certainty in human being, in every man. So the first one is the people of the right hand, Ashabul Yamin. So Habib Abdul Haddad, Imam Haddad always focus on this Ashabul Yamin, because to him the time for the real, like Mugarrabin and Siddiqun, like the real awliya and all, is very, during his time he has said that we focus on Ashabul Yamin because these are the masses. So he addressed to the masses. So the Mukarrabin and Siddiqun are of higher level. They will have a better guidance for themselves, and of course the teachers will guide them. Doesn't mean that we cannot excel to the the higher standard, but then we focus first on the Ashabul Yamin. That means they have firm belief, but with possibility of doubtful or shaky under certain circumstances. This is called faith. So most of us will fall under this category, this first category, Ashabul Yamin. We have faith, but sometimes our belief is shaky. Our belief is shaky sometimes under certain circumstances, when being attacked or being mm, given certain ideologies that has that goes not in line with our belief. We feel threatened. We will feel threatened because of these new ideologies and all these um, um, not really straight teachings. So we have to learn from proper scholars, and also take our beliefs from the proper teachers. So the second degree is ones who have been brought near the Mukarrabin. The Mukarrabin is of a higher standard, higher status. The possession of the heart by faith and it's establishing itself therein so firmly that its opposite becomes no longer possible. Here the unseen becomes as the seen. This is certainty. So this is the standard of the Muqarrabin. The unseen becomes as the seen. That means the unseen, whatever we can see, we cannot see, we cannot whatever we cannot we can't understand and we cannot see becomes as the seen. Then the third one is the prophets and the true saints, the Siddiqun. These are the true highest of the prophet. Here the sin becomes sin. The sin becomes sin. So there is a difference. The second one is the unseen becomes as the sin. But the third one is the the sin, the unseen becomes sin, which is called unveiling, or kashaf, and mushahada, the contemplation. So this is of the standard for the prophets and the true saints. So Habib Abdullah Haddad, he always addressed the Ashabul Yamin. This he focused to bring people to Ashabul Yamin, people of the right hand. So yeah, that is about certainty. So the summary is that we shouldn't have doubt in the existence of Allah. We have to have and to strive to have a better certainty, our yakin. Like there is also the ilmul yakin and ilmul yakin and ainul yakin and haqqul yakin. The first one is ilmul yakin. We have the knowledge, the knowledge of certainty. The second one is ainul yakin, the seeing of certainty by seeing. And then the third one is haqqul yakin, the what is that? The real certainty. So some of the ulama mentioned this that when you learn something, so you know there is these things and that thing, like the belief is should be like this and like this. So this is ilmul yaqin. We believe in something that we have learned, we have knowledge of, but of course not everything. We know of certain things from our teachers and from the books we read. This is ilmul yaqin. We avoid certain things, we do certain things, ilmul yaqin, and we have faith in this. But when we move up, is called like ainul yaqin. We see things being happen, like things happening, and some of the scholars say that when and the ainul yaqin, like if you talk about honey, for instance, you talk about honey, the first standard, the first status is not ilmul yaqin. You know that the honey, someone told you, your teacher tells you that the honey is sweet, so you know the honey is sweet. Honey is sweet, but you haven't tasted the honey or you haven't seen any honey. So the second one is ainul yaqin. You see the honey and you see it. The honey is sweet. You see the honey. The third one is you tasted the honey. When you have tasted the honey, that is the haqqul yaqin. You know by experience. So all this, Imam Haddad says that there are grades within each degree. All are good, but some better than the others. So that this is Allah give. That is Allah's grace. He bestows it upon whom He will, and yeah, we can choose. Allah gives whoever what He wants. Then the second one is considering oneself out of the realm of God's plan or beyond His mercy. That is by constantly and continuously engaging what Allah has prohibited. So this is the second disease of the heart. second vice of the heart, which he mentioned, considering oneself out of the realm of God's plan or beyond His mercy. So this man constantly and continuously engage in what Allah has prohibited. In a hadith, Rasulullah SAW said, if you see that Allah gives to his slave whatever he loves, and the slave still continuously engage in sinful acts, then it is istidraj. He said that this is istidraj. So we see this a lot, that you see that Allah have given um, many worldly things to some people, and these people keep on sinning, keep on doing sinful acts, and don't don't pray, or pray sometimes, and don't really take worship and the Sharia seriously. So this is actually istidraj, like the story of Fir'aun and Qarun. There are many in the Quran. In one of the verses of the Quran, Surah Al-An'am, when they neglected the warning they had received, then instead of punishment, we open the we open the we open the gates of every kind of prosperity for them. But just as they were rejoicing in what they were given, we took them by surprise, and lo, they were plunged into despair. So this is istidraj. Allah give the person worldly things and power and status, although they don't follow what Allah asked them to do. There are many stories of this in the Quran, examples. So just to mention a bit, mu'jizat, the difference between mu'jizat and karamah and istidraj. So mu'jizat are for the prophets. So these are reserved for the prophet. It's just some ulama say mu'jizat and karamah say mu'jizat and karamah is the same thing, but it's just that mu'jizat are reserved for the prophets, and karamah are for the saints and salihin. But some say that mu'jizat have like other specialties, like um, every 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 mu'jizat can also be a karamah, except for like one mu'jizat of Nabi Isa, Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, who is born without a mother, about without a father. So this is special for him. And there's, if any other person claim to be born without having a father, then this is not possible. This is a mu'jizat reserved for Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. So yeah, that is like some scholars say that that is one the one difference between mu'jizat and karama. But other than that, all mu'jizats are possible for to be in the karama section. That means all saints and salihin, if given, Allah gives them karama, they can do whatever the prophets have done in terms of all these um, special powers. And then istidraj is for the kuffar, or the Hitlers within the among the Muslim. They are Muslims or they are kuffar, but and but Allah gives them uh, some, like what is that, um, worldly things, like power or status or abundance of wealth and so on. So this is istidraj. So if they are not careful, they will think that they are safe from the realm of God. So, but actually they are in the state of istidraj. Allah will plunge them when it's time. So the third thing, then we go on the third thing. Third thing that Habib Ahmad mentioned is considering oneself beyond Allah's mercy. So this is despair, where one's heart loses hope of Allah's mercy, and that person does not even dislike the hopelessness. And this is like despair, being despair towards Allah. He thinks that okay, he got no hope, no hope already, no point making dua, no point asking for forgiveness. His life is gone. It's like Allah won't help him. This is uh, a disease and a vice of the heart. In the Quran, it's Allah says, "Or do you think that you will enter paradise while such trial has not yet come to you, as came to those who passed on before you? They were touched by poverty and hardship and were shaken until even the messenger and those who believed with him said, when is the help of Allah? Unquestionably, the help of Allah is near." Surah Al-Baqarah. So don't think that when Allah tests you, it's like Allah gives you hardship and poverty. It's like you are far away from Allah. In fact, you are we are being tested, and Allah will only try a slave to the extent that where he can accept, he can endure. He won't be tested more than what he can endure. So if you are being tested in that sense, in whatever you are being tested, that means Allah knows that you can endure that, and so you must persevere. And the harder the test is, the harder the trial, the the better the reward is. Of course, the better the reward is. And some ulama say that some scholars have mentioned that uh, like for even for a sin, for a person, for Allah to um, what is that to increase the rank of a person to a saint, he will be tested by very hard, like a very big trial, like the loss of his loved ones, like his parents, his children, like all at the same time maybe, or like really hard trial, the loss of someone near to him and close to him. And one of it is like loss of wealth, uh, and like big trials, not just simple trials. Mm. Allah alam. Then in the Quran also, Surah Az-Zumar, O my servant, say, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves by sinning, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sin. Indeed, it is He who is forgiving, the merciful. So Allah is mentioning that Allah says that even if you have done like lots, tons of sins, Allah is still forgiving and merciful. So we should always go back to Allah. We should always ask for forgiveness and don't be despair. We cannot be despair. We cannot have this attitude of like, okay, I asked for from Allah so many times already, He didn't answer, and so no hope. Cannot be. We cannot have that mindset. So we have to fight that and believe and be certain that Allah will provide us for He knows what He has planned, and whatever He has given us is good for us. It may not be good in our eyes, but Allah knows best. So we have to, if being tried, we have to be patient, and we have to be patient and seek the what is it? Seek refuge and just go back to Allah. The key is we need to have a balance in hope and fear. In order to be despair, not to be despair, we have to have hope in Allah and fear in Allah. For normal man, our hope and fear, hope and raja, fear and hope, hope raja, should be balanced. So, like Abi Abdullah Haddad have mentioned that there are three categories. The first one is for normal man, our hope and fear, hope raja will be we should be equal. Should be equal. We have to have fear in Allah so that we do our whatever has been asked to do. We should do whatever Allah have commanded us to do. But and we also should have hope in Allah, that to know we should know that Allah is forgiving and merciful. So if we do some things not proper, some sins, we should just go back to should just ask for forgiveness and hope that Allah will forgive us, and know that the mercy Allah is the all merciful and He will forgive us. So the hope and fear should be balanced. Once if our hope is too much, then we will neglect the commands of Allah. If our fear is too much, then we might fall into despair. So that's why Imam Haddad said that for normal men, our hope and fear should be balanced. And then the second category is where um, the like the elites or the muqarrabun, those who are near to Allah, their hearts are in 100% certainty in Allah's blessings and Allah's plan and all. So these people, they no longer have fear in Allah, or very little, because their hope, they have a lot of hope in Allah. They have a lot of raja, because they have believe in everything, and they are very strong in that sense. So they are not shaken by the trials and whatever is happening. Even being tried, they are stable. So their fear will turn into um, awe to Allah, and their hope will be like love. Like they love Allah so much, so they know that the hope is there, and their fear is in honors of Allah. That Allah is what is that? Uh, 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 a God that is mighty and can do whatever He wants and whatever He wills. And the third one is like those who uh, have this they have this tendency to do sins and always fall into sin. So for these people, they should increase in fear, and the fear should be more than the hope. So they always should be fearful in Allah, towards Allah, so that they know that if they sin, Allah will punish them. So they should increase their fear in Allah, except for when he's in his deathbed. Then he should erase all this fear and put in hope. So Imam Haddad said that in fact anybody in when during his sakaratul maut, when uh, he's about to pass away, when he's about to die, that is the time you should put 100% hope to Allah. Know that have good what is that you should have hope. What is it? Husnul zan towards Allah. So he should have this hope that Allah will forgive all his sins and will will save him and put him in paradise, and dismiss all the fear. But when he's alive, then before the what is it? Before he is in his deathbed, then he should increase the fear. Okay, the next one is considering oneself superior to others, to other slaves of Allah. This is takabbur. So takabbur is also another vice of the heart. So takabbur, he does not. Uh, sorry, takabbur is he does not love. In Surah Nahl, Allah says he does not love those who wax arrogance. So arrogance uh, is an attribute of Allah, al-mutakabbir. So the proud, mutakabbir. So this is not becoming of anyone else to have any of it in his heart. So this is reserved for Allah. Allah says he is the proud, al-mutakabbir. So we shouldn't have any bit of this uh, attribute, because this is reserved for Allah. Only He can be um, al-mutakabbir. Then the Prophet said, he who has a grain of pride in his heart will not enter paradise. So that is in line with what Allah have said about arrogance. Then there are many types of arrogance: feeling superior than others due to knowledge, status, wealth, beauty, lineage, strength, having lots of kids, or abundance of wealth, or any possession, or lots of students. Many things can lead to arrogance, and displaying contempt and lack of respect and scorn towards others is also a type of arrogance. So we should really be careful of our our actions and intention, because takabur sometimes this arrogance sometimes is very subtle. Like Iblis he sinned and refused to bow down to Sayyidina Adam, as he felt that he is superior than him. Mm. One So feeling superior towards another being is also an act of takabur, and also like um, displaying contempt. That means he do not he cannot accept that, or cannot give any respect to others, because he feels that he is better, like what Iblis had did to Sayyidina Adam, when Allah asked him to ask Iblis to bow down to Sayyidina Adam. He said no, cannot. He won't do it because he don't feel that Adam is superior than him. He is superior because he is made of fire, and Sayyidina Adam is made of clay. So why should I bow down to someone who made of clay when I am made of fire? So I am superior than him. So this is takabur, feeling any grain of proudness or superiority towards anything, like, oh, my lineage is better. I come from such and such lineage, from a high status. This is arrogance. And also, like, there are many ways of arrogance. Like some are said, like I said, they are very subtle. Like someone who had performed Hajj, and then he came back. Then he was waiting in conversation. Any conversation put, he can tell others that he had performed Hajj, he will do so. Then his Hajj will be like useless. Whatever he had done, he is for the uh, intention of telling others. So this is arrogance. And or for preachers, and especially students of knowledge and those who possess knowledge, they are also affected by this takabur, because they think that they are better and knows more, they know more than the uh, normal men, normal people, the masses. So they feel they have this arrogance, and they will never want to hear out anyone else because they think they know more, they know better, and they are better. So this is arrogance, and some like they say that, oh no, I don't, I'm not arrogant, but it's just that I haven't slept for 3 days, and I have been traveling, and now I'm telling I'm I'm giving you a speech here. So macam he's like telling his the good things that he have done, so that people will think highly of him. And this is also arrogance. So Allah reminds us in the Quran that we are created from a drop of semen. So there's no point to be arrogant. Even Imam Ali, what? Okay, we are we are created from a drop of semen. So there's no point of being arrogant. We are just created from a drop of semen. And then there was uh, there was someone who always do the rituals for janazah, and always wash the body of for janazah. He told me that uh, we really shouldn't be arrogant, because you think of it, we are made from semen, and then when we are alive, we carry we carry najis in our body. We have najis. We have to let go of certain najasa from our body. Then when we die, someone have to wash us, and then we go back to the earth. Have to be buried and eaten by the worms. So uh, what is there to be arrogant of? So there's nothing. We don't have anything. We don't have anything superior in that sense, and we shouldn't be proud, because when we die, we leave everything. Even if you have billions of dollars, you can't bring anything. And then Imam Ali was asked, who is better, Abu Bakr or him? He answered Abu Bakr. Then he was asked again, Umar or him? He answered Umar. He was then asked, what rank do you have? He said, I am a Muslim amongst many. So Imam Ali, if he can go down that low, then what are we? Where when he is the closest to the Prophet Sallallahu, he's the cousin and also son-in-law, and very close, being taught and nurtured by Rasulullah Sallallahu himself. And there's also a story that once this guy saw a lady who called Rasulullah Sallallahu in a like boisterous manner, like very like with disrespect, or like lack of respect. He called Rasulullah Sallallahu. Then Rasulullah Sallallahu stopped to speak with her, even though the way she called him is like something like "Oi," or "Oh Muhammad, oh Muhammad," because in our scholars have said that we cannot call Rasulullah Sallallahu Muhammad, just Muhammad cannot. We have to call her. We have to call him Rasulullah Sallallahu, or the Prophet, or the Messenger, or the Rasul, or Nabi, or if unless it's a salawat or something. But some of them permit uh, the calling of Muhammad if there is no degrading. There is a degrading sense, then we cannot do that. So anyway, the story is this woman called Rasulullah SAW in a lack of respect manner. Rasulullah SAW still stopped to speak with her, showing no signs of annoyance or no signs of arrogance. He just stopped and speak with her. So because when the Bedouin especially, they are very rough. So sometimes they just call oi oi or some. There's no, because that's their nature. So when the man saw that Rasulullah SAW is very calm and didn't react to with any annoyance or uh, any demanding of respect, he said that Muhammad SAW is a man unlike the kings of other lands. So that he's like, he acts like a normal human being without any arrogance and very humble. So who are we uh, to demand respect and what be arrogant towards others. So the next one is ostentation, showing off or riya. This one I think we will cover this in the next session, inshallah. Allah alam. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا انفعنا بما علمتنا ربي علمنا الذي ينفعنا ربي فقهنا وفقه أهلنا وقرابة لنا في ديننا مع أهل القدر وأنت وذكر ربي وفقنا وفقهم لما ترتضي قولا فعلا كرما وارزقنا كل حلالا دائما وأخلا أدقى علما نحظى بالخير ونقفى كل شر ربنا اصلح لنا كل شؤون واجر رب الرضا منك العيون واقضي عنا ربنا كل الديون قبل أن تأتينا رسول المنون واغفر واستر أنت أكرم من ستر وصلاة الله تغشى المصطفى من إلى الحق دعانا والوفاء بكتاب فيه للناس شفاء وعلى الآل الكرام الشرفاء وعلى الصحب مصابه الغرار اللهم اهدنا بهداك واجعلنا ممن يسارع في رضاك ولا تولنا وليا سواك ولا تجعلنا ممن خلف أمرك وعصاك وحسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.